Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Ang Thong Province. We're about 2 hours kind of north of Bangkok. And what we're going to take a look at is we're going to take a look at one of the 5 royal palaces that were outside of the city island and capital of the Ayutthaya Kingdom. This was a palace. It was a small, basically like a rural lodge that was built out here by the 32nd Ayutthaya king in the 1730s, probably about in there, King Borommakot. And they also think that maybe his son, he stayed here also, that he was an ordained monk over at Wat Pho Thong, which is a temple about 2.5 to 3 kilometers or so from here. So anyway, this is a small site. It was visited by King Rama V, and they declared it a national monument during his reign. And we're going to take a look at this. It's a small, like little 2-story building that's out here. It used to be rice paddies all around it, but they've done a lot of renovations and improvements here. So let's look at this, and we'll see what we see today. This is the area. I was here about 3.5 years ago or so, and they've done a ton of improvement. That little sala was there, and I don't know if the shrine was here, but it had like a wooden bridge, and then this was all just kind of overgrown. There was some cows and stuff grazing over here by this ruin, and they put all the grass and little walkways, and they have a nice little moat and everything. So yeah, this is quite nice compared to what it looked like before. They probably are wanting some tourists and stuff to come out here to this. It's a great little site kind of out here in the middle of nowhere. They have one of the Buddha monks here, so you can come over here and pray. It's kind of like a little concrete lotus flower that it's sitting on. And they've even put bathrooms over there. And they got little lotus flowers or lilies that are growing in this little moat. Yeah, this is very, very nice. You can see this is all new here. Yeah, what a great improvement. Getting here, you got to drive down through rural Thailand, and you can see all the rice out here in Ang Thong. Ang Thong is like the breadbasket of central Thailand. They get some of the best rice crops here in this province. And so this is the site right here. You got a bodai tree. Let's go look at this little wehan or whatever this is, and then we'll look at the main building here. Yeah, so we got some chickens over here, and then some, like, looks like some people are selling some stuff here. They got their umbrella and all that over here on the wall. And we got a spirit house. And then this looks like it would have been the little temple built next to the palace. Yeah, whenever they were like excavating this was all abandoned during the fall of Ayutthaya in 1767. So it was all collapsed down, everything. So Rama V came back over here and visited it, and he brought his archaeologists and stuff like that. They were speculating it was just a residence for the prince, Uthumphon or something like that. I can't remember his name exactly. But once Rama V came here and saw how ornate it was, they decided it had to have been like a summer palace. So here's a little temple that would have been right over here by it. And you can see how rural it is. We got the buffalo over here. You got chickens. You got all their farmers, all their buildings over here. Yeah, it's very, very, very rural out here. Rice and more rice, and if you want to see something other than rice, then you're out of luck. Yeah, so they've stuck a modern Buddha image in here. Yeah, not a whole lot else to see. It's just down to the base. But it looks like they have the old timber. This would have been probably that, like that mythical bird up on the gable. And you got a lizard running around in there. And they got it over here now with the shrine. And you can see they have restored the base here. That would have been the Ayutthaya styling. So this would have been built in the 1730s, about 30 years or so before the fall of Ayutthaya to the Burmese. So they would have been able to use this for quite a while. The 1730s was like really a prosperous time for the Ayutthaya king. They did a lot of trade and they had just tremendous wealth. So they were able to build stuff like this. Yeah, so we can see the ornate styling here. So this would have been the lower level down here, and they would have had like all the servants and stuff like that probably doing their thing down here. And then the upper level would have been for the royals. And you can see the styling above the windows. I don't know if they'd have put a Buddha image in there or what. And then you can see here, this is definitely the Ayutthaya styling with like the little lotus flower archway. And you can see where the fine arts department have restored this, put the plaster here and redid all the bricks. You can see this is all pretty new here. All right, let's see what it looks like down below here. Yeah, pigeons everywhere. So you can see they've built these round columns back, and these are probably what it looked like before they did any restoration. And you can see there's a million pigeons up there. Oh yeah, really spectacular. So these cross beams right here, those notches would have been for the floor to go across. Oh, really quite cool. And you could have come in right underneath the stairs here also. So they've came back in and put these floorboards across. So we'll go up there and check that out. Yeah, you can see right through there. Has a little balcony and a set of stairs right here. And it looks like there might have been a set of stairs on the other side going up over there. And then you can see these columns. This would have been a little porch here. And then you can see the faux lotus up there, the faux column. That's the styling you saw in all the Ayutthaya buildings. Oh, this is really, really cool. And it's even kind of bowed like they did with the late Ayutthaya temples. They bowed those in the middle. You can see up there also, there's pigeons hanging out above the door. And they would have even had a wooden rail going across here. Yeah, so this is definitely Ayutthaya era styling. The temples had these with like the little naga and everything else. And they would have had some intricate wood carvings around the doors. They've all been lost to time. This has all just been restored here. That's the shame, is most of the stuff that you would have seen would have been built out of wood, but during the fall of Ayutthaya, all of it burned or was abandoned, and then the jungle took over. Termites and the elements destroyed all the wood carvings. So all you see are stuff like this, the religious buildings and these 5 little palaces that are around. And then you have the royal palace also in Ayutthaya. Yeah, this is a gigantic building here. So they would have had Buddha images here and here. And you can still see how it's painted. So that would have been painted red. Same as over here, above the windows would have had those little notches for the Buddhas. And over there, oh, this is fantastic. And then the floor would have went right across there. Now it's just a home for pigeons to come over and do their thing. And you see right here, there's little nooks at the bottom of these windows. They could have either put a Buddha image in there or they could have put candles. You'll see the candles in some of those also for some of the things they did. And they say online that if you come here during the equinox, that the sun goes right through these windows, just like it does at Phnom Rung, at the old Khmer ruin up on the volcanic peak over by Buriram. And it causes this whole little palace to glow. Yeah, really a cool little site. They've done a lot of improvements, made it really nice over here. They keep the grass cut. They have little sidewalks all out here now. Much different than when I came here 3.5 years ago or so. And a massive Bodhi tree with a little shrine over there, elephants, all the stuff. And this looks like what it looks like on the other side here. Oh, it's spectacular. I really like seeing stuff like this. I've read accounts where they talk about some of the traders that traded with Ayutthaya, like the Dutch and the Portuguese. There's one account that I read where the Ayutthaya king took the traders into one of his storerooms that was just completely filled with gold. Yeah, King Akaratat, King Narasawan's little brother that took over upon Narasawan's death, he changed the whole economy of Thailand from being warlike to being traders. He made all the soldiers into like merchant marines, and they traded and they made tons of money, mainly with China, but with Japan and the Dutch, Europe, and everything else. Yeah, so this is the whole little building. Just really cool. Well, that'll finish up a pretty quick little video over here at this Kham Yat Palace. This is really a nice little ruin. It's pretty much unknown. You know, people don't associate this with Ayutthaya at all, even though it was part of the greater Ayutthaya Kingdom. They built palaces in like Bangpa Inn, up in Lopburi. They have another palace over at Nakhon Luang that I was just at a couple weeks back. I'll probably pin a comment to it. But there was just a lot of wealth, and they were able to build, all of these palaces and stuff like that. And it just was kind of impressive. There was 1 million+ people in Ayutthaya, so it was really a large city, especially by standards of the day. So anyway, this is really cool. If you're up in this area, it's kind of hard to get to unless you got like a car or a motorcycle. Like me, I just jumped on the motorcycle and came over here. But you could hire out, a driver to bring you over here if you're wanting to see something like this. It is off the beaten path, but if you like history like I do, then this would definitely be something you want to check out. And there's other things to see in Ang Thong also, like Wat Muang with the 92-meter tall Buddha. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. If you've been here, let me know what you think. If you like the building as much as I do, tell me in a comment down below. Or if you have any questions or comments, or if you know more about the history of this, let me know also. There's probably message boards in Thai that talks a lot more about it, but I don't have access to those. So definitely leave me a comment if you know more information. And subscribe and all that. It helps the channel grow. And until next time, from over here in Ang Thong, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.